Update 21 has arrived. Chains of Anaris is now available. Actually, 4 hours ago. I didn't know it was that long ago. Jeez, I'm late on this. The 6 Syndicate weapon augment mods from Operation Ambulance Reborn have finally been added into the game, so you can now get these outside of that operation, which is good for those who didn't actually pick these up during the event. I was personally going to, but I didn't really bother. I obviously picked up some, like the one for the kunai here. It says one owned, but when I actually come and look at it, it says I don't own it. That's kind of weird. But they do add the whole syndicate effect to new weapons that didn't have it before, and is actually looking kind of fun to play with. But during the event, I did say that is why I bought these noggles instead of the syndicate weapon mods, because, well, the augments were going to come into the game anyway and be available over there, so I wasted mine on those. There are 2 new weapons in total. The knell looks like it could be pretty interesting. I know it says it's got a magazine of 1, but seeing this in use looks like the magazine's bigger than that, or the reload is much quicker than that. And it does look like it is kind of a crit based weapon with 20% but 5% status, but it does have a fair amount of puncture to it, with of course the blueprint available from the marketplace, but it will require quite a lot of cryotic and 2 argon crystals. Then there is the Scourge, which looks like it's in the Tenno lab for the blueprint. This has, it's a primary, but it's a primary throwable weapon, as weird as that sounds. I can tell that because it says throw. It looks like it does a lot of physical damage. 455 impact with 72 puncture. Still does 50 corrosive, but its main, like, charged attack is 60 corrosive anyway, with 30% status on its thrown. Pretty much next to no crit on either version, so this is purely a status based weapon. Appears there's a reason that when there's a new update there's this big mega thread for bugs, because somebody sent me a link to a riven mod, and I'm assuming it's a riven mod. I'm now stuck on a black screen and I can't get out of it. I'm just straight up stuck. Then of course there is Harrow himself, looking all spectacular there. He does have an alternate helmet, and you can see the difference between the two. That one, or his alternate helmet on the right there, seems to stick up way higher, and does actually look pretty nice. Still torn whether I prefer that one or the standard one, but every time I come to this it has the Therible, which is the thing in his hand here. His abilities look pretty fun as well. Condemn will basically cast a wave that chains enemies together, and that helps replenish your shields, or as its word here, reinforces Harrow's shields. Penance, you sacrifice shields, but you do get a damage bonus, and there is the whole health for you and nearby allies. Therible, you put energy into it, and you can get energy back out of it by landing headshots for you and allies around you. Again, this is a very supporting frame. And Covenant, pretty much the same as Condemn and Penance, but you don't really sacrifice any shields or health. You protect nearby allies with an energy force, and any damage it's absorbed is converted into a crit chance bonus from everything I can find. It's at the end. I'm not really too sure on that one, but crit chance bonus is huge, but headshots are amplified even further, is even better. So that, with Therible going, is going to be, I don't want to say overpowered, but really useful. Has health, has shields, was expected to have less, has 150 armor, supporting frame that's kind of tanky. And this guy's behind the whole new quest, and everything says that quest is already available in the codex if you have completed the War Within and do the Mott node on, well, it's a void mission, so it's all the way over here on the right, and it is right there. And as you can see, once you complete it, you will get the blueprint for Harrow. How his parts are farmable, I'm unsure at the moment though, which is a bit of a shame. But it's all behind this quest. One big thing about the quest that people do need to know though, it's a solo quest. Not being able to do it in multiplayer was done intentionally. Best way to actually see all of this is in here. Oh, there's also the Santana. See, there it is. Not a bad looking Santana actually. The Earth Remastered has also arrived. It is well worth checking this out for yourself, actually going in and doing it, because there's a note from the sound team on there about the ambient sounds, and it looks, the difference is very, very noticeable. Another reason to check out Earth is there are 3 new capture rooms: the Grineer Forest Factory scene, the Grineer Forest Industry scene, and the Grineer Forest Water Pump scene, all on the Earth Remastered thing. 2 quest related capture scene rooms have been added as well. If you finished Octavia's Anthem, you'll find Cephalon's Suda offering a new room. That's not really fair. And once you complete the chains of Harrow, Red Veil will offer his capture scene. Nope, that can be traded, but that one can't. So even though you completed the quest, you can't use the scene unless you're with a specific syndicate. It does look a lot nicer in here with all the plants and everything else, but I thought I'll just come in here to try and demonstrate something, and then realised, yeah, all of the grass is actually going to get in the way of me doing this, so I need to go somewhere there's no grass. Oberon has had the visual change added to Hallowed Ground. It will now spawn grass. I wouldn't call that grass, it spawns plants, but anyway. It's not just a visual thing, they're not just visually appealing, it's, you can interact with them. It's not just a visual thing that's been added. You can see as I run through them, these are not movable, but they do move. They're not moving on the floor, but they act like normal plants do, and that does look really nice. I wish this had come with Oberon when Oberon Prime first came out, because it just... Hang on. Am I spawning more and more grass? Oh, jeez. That could... Nope, some despawned. Okay, so it does have a limit as to how... Oh. It does have a limit as to how much of this stuff you can spawn, but damn, that is a lot of grass. Then there is a buff to all throwing weapons. The Sestra has had its damage increased from 35 to 44, and its status chance from 25 to 30, and its recoil damage type has been set to Toxin. Same for the glaive, it's had its crit chance increased from 5% to 10%, its damage from 35 to 45, now needs a Mastery rank 1 before you can even build it. Same goes with the glaive prime. Its status chance has gone from 20% to 30%, its crit chance has gone from 5% to 15%, its crit multiplier has gone from 1.5 to 2, its damage has gone from 45 to 50, it's had knockback added to its recoil, so as it's coming back it'll knock people over, which is a good thing to be added to it, but it now needs Mastery rank 10 to be able to build. The Holocaust was an amazing thing to me. I completely forgot this was even a weapon that can pull, like, disarm enemies. Actually a pretty useful throwing weapon. Its status chance has been increased by 5%, its crit chance has been increased by 5%, its multiplier has gone to 2 like the rest of them, its damage has gone from 35 to 45, but its Mastery rank requirement has gone from 0 to 7. Throwing weapons are now going to be very useful. Most forgotten of all is obviously the Kestrel. This has had its damage taken from 30 to 35, its Mastery rank has remained untouched, it's kind of the entry level throwable weapon, and its crit chance has gone from 5% to 10%. Leaving lastly the obvious, this is from the War Within quest, its status chance has gone from 10 to 15, its crit chance is exactly the same, it's gone from 10 to 15, its damage however has been increased from 50 to 70. But I'm going to equip the Kestrel, Holocaust even, I'm got the Kestrel on the mind at the minute, and the Euphorna Prime, because you'll notice dual wielding, one in each hand, that this should be good. To get this to work, all you have to do is obviously swap to your secondary, and there it is. Melee weapon and a gun. I'm actually shooting the gun while the glaive is out. You can charge through it and then shoot while you wait for it to come back. Obviously reloading at the same time. Probably not such a good thing, which is insanely useful. But this whole aspect to me only works in one condition. If you cannot ground pound like this and you still have to swap to your melee weapon, or technically ground pound works anywhere through any kind of aspect. If that is gone because it's in my hand, and it tends to do that, which is a much better thing if you're surrounded by enemies. So I'm not really complaining about this that much, because that spin is really useful. But I still want to be able to... Okay, that was my fault. I charged that one. Ground pound with this. If I can ground pound with it equipped, I'll be happy. Ground pound! Yeah! Now that I can see that's there, yes, I'm going to use this a lot. This is an insanely useful feature. There are also, it goes on about 23 exciting new PC Steam stuff, and Steam stuff can stay within Steam. There are 6 new challenges. There is the War Within, which is complete the War Within quest. This is what we are, which is fully unlock the focus skill tree. Then there is Combat Specialist for completing 3 sorties. This is one that I keep forgetting to try and complete. Kaboom, which is kill 10 enemies at once with a single explosion. That could be good. Ogress will be really useful for that. Liberator, set 10 hostages free without triggering the timer. And the Eightfold Path, which is survive 8 waves of defense using only melee attacks. As long as abilities aren't included in that, so you can take Frost and defend, that should also be fun to do. Back in Update 17, they brought a buff to primary shotguns. Well, in Update 21, they've done the same, but for secondary shotguns. The Bronco, the AK Bronco, the Bronco Prime, the Brak, the Detron, the Twin Rogger, the Mara Detron, the Comac, the AK Bronco Prime, the Pyrana, and the Twin Comac have all had their damages increased. And because of this, their mastery ranks have also changed. I would go more into it, but to be fair, the only big ones have got to be the Mara Detron is now a mastery rank 9, the Comac is a mastery rank 10, the AK Bronco Prime is a mastery rank 11, the Pyrana is a mastery rank 12, and the Twin Comac is also a 12. But that's only for a 9 damage increase. They're not that huge damage buff wise, but some of the classic weapons, secondary weapons, have also been buffed. This is mainly because of that dual wielding thing. Lato, Lex, the AK Lex Prime has had its mastery rank increased to 5. I hate this one. The Lato Prime has had a damage increase. I would love that weapon. Primary weapons have been revisited. There's 2 of them actually, 3. The Daikyu, the Stradivar, and the Opticore. There is a lot more. If you want to know more, the link to the forum post for Update 21 will be in the description below, because this is getting really long at this point, so we'll leave this off here for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.